Hello, welcome to the Writing Engineer. Today I'll be... Oh, foo. Well, it appears that reality is on the fritz again, so rather than use my camera, which appears to be deleting me from the frame, we're going to try something a little new today. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so here we are at KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. So today we are going to be publishing my book, Amara's Law, Blood Tech. Well, let's try that right now. So I already have an account on KDP, but if you don't, you can use the sign up here and just sign in using an email and a password. So I'm just going to sign in. Okay, and here we go. So we are going to create a new book. Oh, looks like I had already started to, we're going to delete this. Okay, so we'll start a new one. This is one of the books that I did as a test with my writers group. We're going to create a new Kindle ebook. Click. So we select our primary language that you want your ebook to be. We'll enter in the book title here. And if you want, you can just enter, like, you could do it another way. You could do, like, if you have a series title and you want to do this, then you can do this. But we're going to do it this way. And just have that entire thing as the title of the book. Series information. And series number is book number 1. Edition number, we're not going to do that because this is the first edition. We'll do that if there's any subsequent editions, if there's any revisions that have to be done. Primary author or contributor. And if you're putting in your own book, this should be your name, obviously. And if you had any other contributors to your book that you'd like to list, you can put them right in here. So this is what some people call the back cover copy, or the blurb. There's a couple different names for it, but I usually end up calling it the back cover copy in reference to older style paperback books and that I used to love as a kid. So we're going to go in here and we're going to open up our Office program. Fortunately, actually, you know what? Maybe not. I think what we'll do is we're going to go into, close this for a second, my ebook converter, which is called Juto. Right? And so what we'll do is go into here, and we're going to go to the book description, which is book. Oh boy. You know what? This may take me a second to find, so I may cut the video here while I search for this. But I will tell you immediately what I'm doing as soon as I find what it is that I'm doing. Oh, well, apparently that was it. There's I have one version here that I'm using for my ebook, but I also have another version that I was doing for Amazon. We'll open that one. We'll edit this one. And here's the back cover copy that I want to use for my Amazon book. So we'll cancel that. We'll minimize this. We'll go back to our Amazon KDP, and we'll just paste the description in right there. And here you are. All right? Publishing rights. I own the copyright and hold the necessary publishing rights. If you don't have the actual copyright, you can submit it it's going to cost you, if you do one of them, your first one is going to cost you $35. Your second one and all subsequent ones will probably cost you $55. I think it is a definitely a good thing to do so that you can have your copyright, so that in case anyone, an unscrupulous person, sees your story online and tries to copy it and make a movie out of it or something like that, you have the copyright registered under your name. It can take, in the United States, anywhere from 6 to 10 months, but I have already contacted the Copyright Office because I submitted mine a few weeks ago, and they said that you do not need to wait until you get the certificate from them in order to publish your book. The mere fact that you have submitted it to them, assuming that there's not going to be any problems and you haven't committed any sort of plagiarization, there should be no problem. So once you have submitted it, you may go ahead and upload your book and publish your book. All right? Keywords. So these are the most important things that you can put for your book. For example, for mine, I'm going to put female protagonist. Whoops, that didn't actually go in. Female protagonist. This is why spell checkers exist. And the next one, we're going to do science fiction. We're going to do let's see, we're going to do genetics, Genetics. We're also going to do future, and we're going to do maybe one or two others. I believe that you can come back later and add some keywords to this, but I'm not sure. So we're going to add maybe one or two more. Let's see, what else? Action, and in these keywords, you can also target authors that you think are relatively close to your writing style. I've run a couple of things on the web and with other pieces of software that says my writing style is a little bit like Stephen King, but I'm not really sure that the person looking for Stephen King is going to really like my types of novels, so we're not going to put that in there. Now, the next important thing is your categories. Now, please be aware that you can set up to 2 categories in this initial phase, but that is not the maximum amount of categories that you can set. You apparently can set somewhere between 7 and 10 categories. But the first 2, you're going to want to set in here. Now, I'm going to choose mine for science fiction, hard science fiction, because my stories, I believe, are somewhat more similar to stories like Ready Player One and, let's see, Uglies, and a few more other stories that are typically listed as hard science fiction. The other one that I'm going to actually put in here is going to be a thriller. Hopefully, let's see. I don't actually, I don't believe that I can put in that there. So we're going to stick with the science fiction for now and put in action, adventure, and hard science fiction. I'm going to save that. And if you have a children's book, this is where you enter that in that information. I am ready to release my book now, so we're going to save and continue. Done. Yay. All right. So, digital rights management. If you want to enable digital rights management on this, you can go ahead and do that. I am not going to do that with my book, so that people can loan it to each other. And I realize that this may actually, at some point in the future, get some pirated copies. But you know what? I disagree morally with the thing behind digital rights management. So I'm going to take that risk. All right, so now recommended formats for ebooks are doc, docx, HTML, Mobi, EPUB, RTF, PineTest. really the ones that you're going to be concerning yourself with are probably these first 4 and or 5. With the ones most oftenly are these first 2, DOC and .docx. These are Microsoft Word document formats. These HTML is standard website hypertext markup language, and the Mobi and EPUB are 2 of the most popular ebook formats. So if you already have an ebook, you can go ahead and do that. We're going to click this. We're going to go to my home directory where I keep all my stuff. Sort this by name here. Documents. Here's my writing. And here you can see these are all the things that I'm working on. And here's my final revision for release. Amara's Law for release, modified this past Thursday. We're going to open that. Now it's going to upload it. Shouldn't take very long, as it is less than half a megabyte in DOCX format. Save successful. Excellent. And now it is processing the file. It'll tell you what it's doing as you're doing it. So we are going to, let's see. I do already have a cover. Upload your own cover image or use KDP stock images, or upload a cover that you already have, JPEG and TIFF only. We're going to try and do Launch Cover Creator just for fun to see how that works. Okay, how to use Cover Creator. Number 1, choose your design, style and edit on preview. You know what? This might not be really what I want to do, but we're going to try this anyway and see how this works. See right here, now I have all my covers in here, my final covers. Now this is going to be, these are, you can see some of these files here are in Adobe Photoshop format, and the other ones here are for, these are just JPEGs, and this XCF format that you can see right here, you'll see it's almost as large as the Adobe Photoshop version. This is from a program called GIMP, which is for New with a G, GNU, Image Manipulation Program. It's a free program that is a viable substitute for Adobe Photoshop, though it is not nearly as powerful, although it does have a very big plus on its side in that it is free. All right, so we're going to go ahead and choose this one, BloodTech V2 for Kindle. I'm going to open that. See, we want to go back. See, you can see here, it has overwritten my thing with its own title and text here. So we want to actually get out of this. We don't want to use this. We want to just upload the image that I already have. I thought it would just let me do that. So we're going to upload cover image that I already have. Upload my cover, Amara's Law Book 1, covers, final covers, and for Kindle. Open. Now this should upload and just work. I did, when I had my cover being designed, I gave the proper dimensions to my designer, and hopefully, if this works, it will come up and it should come in at the proper dimensions for a Kindle ebook. Now, the online previewer, we're actually going to wait until this processing your file finishes, and so that the cover, oh, that was actually really fast. Okay, so here you can see my cover, which I did in a video a couple weeks ago. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, just so we can see that a little bit better. You can see here that all the elements that I had before are indeed part of there. The hand, we have the QR code, we have my nice little backgrounds there. My name, the name of the book up here, and my name are all appearing where they're supposed to be. So now we've added that. Kindle ebook preview. The online previewer is the best way to see what's in your book. So let us launch the previewer. Let's see what happens. It's processing the files. So if this takes for too much longer, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this here, and then we'll start it up again when it has prepared all my files. Okay, so here we are at the next step. This is the Kindle previewer. Now, there is, I believe, a piece of software that you can actually download to your computer that will allow you to do this directly on your own computer without having to upload this into Amazon to do its preview. I will list the name of the software, and it's freely available from Amazon. It's actually the engine that my Juto software uses to convert from Microsoft Word document into Amazon MOBI format or EPUB. So you can be assured that when you do use that piece of software, that it will render exactly the same as the Amazon ebook will on the Amazon website. And I'll make sure I list what that software is called in the comments section below. All right, so here we have my book. You can see it's location 1 of 7120, and we can scroll through and see, make sure everything came out the way that we wanted it to come out. So it looks like the text is looking like it should. There's no weirdness. My nice page separators are there. I didn't go too high-tech with the page separators. Now, most of this was formatted by my line editor when I had the final edit of this done. So this is actually looking pretty good. So we're going to go here. We're going to do 5,000. See if what that brings us to. Good. It's still working. It looks like everything's still good. So what we'll do now is we're going to click on Table of Contents. Okay, so it didn't do any Table of Contents for me here. We're going to actually check out the end of the book. We're going to go to the end of the book and make sure that my last couple of pages went over. Okay, so there's the end of my book. You can see the last one is the hand twitched. It's a nice little sentence there to end the book. Now, I may go back after this is done and re-upload something else because it's missing all my stuff that I wanted to put on the end of the book, like my back matter and whatnot. So I may... Oh, and over here you can also check out on the phone, what it would look like on a phone or a Kindle e-reader. See, this is a nice, this looks a lot like my Paperwhite, where it's a little bit off-white. You can see it's a little bit different from the thing here. And they've used a Kindle font to make sure that it looks like it should look. Okay, so that looks good. And we'll click on Book Details to go back and continue our publishing process. All right, so it looks like here I'm actually going to have to go back and do a little bit more work to upload the file that I want into Kindle. So this is one of the lessons that we're learning today, is that everything that you want to have in your ebook should be in your ebook. If you need back matter, if you need front matter, or any acknowledgments or anything that you want to do, that you have to make sure that that should be in your file before you upload it. See, the cover is separate, right? But here is the copyright page of my book, and then just the short blurb of what actually Amara's Law is. But it's missing all of my front matter, which is my thank you and my short little description of how I came up with this book originally. So I will go back and I'm going to re-upload this after I've done some editing, and we will continue on from there. All right, so I had a little bit of a snafu with my recording. I was recording the wrong screen when I originally did my ebook. But here you can see I've uploaded it. The ebook is live, and we can actually go back and change all the stuff that we had before. So we're going to pretend like we're going to edit the ebook contents here. It'll bring us back to these pages here. And what I did was, after I had done the editing in my manuscript and added all the stuff that I wanted in there, I saved it as a new file, and then I just re-clicked the upload ebook manuscript. Now what that will do is that replaces the manuscript that you have in there with the one that you just edited. So if you see anything in the previewer that you would normally launch here that is incorrect in your manuscript, you can just go and edit that back in Word or whatever document editor that you're using, save that and re-upload it. Then you can take a look at it again in the previewer and make sure that everything is to your satisfaction. So what happened was that I added all my front matter, my introduction, and my thank yous, and the back matter, which is the thank you for reading, the call to action to leave a review on Amazon, and the call to action to get to my website and check out all the other books that I have, which are listed in the back. And then finally we have one more thing, which was a bonus material section. That is the first 2 chapters of the next book, called Amara's Law Hybrid Tech, which will be coming out, as soon as I'm done doing all the other stuff that has to be done for that book to be finished. And then what we did, I went over and we clicked down here. It was save and continue, which I'm not going to click because this is already live. Then we went over to ebook pricing, which, we'll go back to the bookshelf here. We're going to click on this to get to the ebook pricing page. And then I had mentioned before that I had done a lot of research into the pricing of Kindle ebooks. What I'm doing for starters is I'm enrolling in KDP Select for the first period that it is about 90 days, and I'm going to all territories. And after that 90 days is up, I'm going to unenroll it and then go wide on that, hopefully using the success of the reviews for the book to get some marketing done for this book itself. I did select for the standard ebook a 70% royalty plan, which has a box of pricing. So you can go as low as $2.99 or as high as $9.99 and still encompass the 70% royalties, which is kind of a nice royalty for that. See, at $3.99, my royalty here is $2.73, which is pretty good and is almost the same amount as what you'll see later for the paperback book. Didn't go to other markets. I'm just going to do Amazon.com for this, and I'm going to list my first book at $3.99. I've heard the sweet spot put forth by several authors that I trust their opinion is between $2.99 and $4.99. I figured I would list my first book for $3.99 as an unknown author, and it is a fairly large book, somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 pages of printed text, or over 110,000 words of just 110,000 words. So it's a large book, and I figured a nice value it would be for $3.99. And when I publish my next book, we'll drop this price of my first book to $2.99, and when I publish the third, we'll drop the first book price to 99 cents, hopefully as a loss leader for getting people hooked into the series. So this is Kindle Matchbook, which allows the option to purchase the ebook for $2.99 or less if you purchase the print book. This is what I did for my first experiment and I found that it's a really nice thing if someone buys your print book, that you offer them the ebook for free. That will increase the value added to the print book that you have, and will entice people to buy the print book so that they'll have that as well. Book lending was already checked. I didn't have this thing, but all titles with the 70% royalty options are loanable to other people. So terms and conditions, 72 hours, blah, blah, blah. And I already have published the ebook. As you can see here, it is live and available for purchase on Amazon.com and available in the Kindle Unlimited store. So that is the portion that I had to redo because I was recording the wrong screen. And you can see here, everything shows up correctly by Andrew J. Griffin, the proper name here. My cover for the ebook is a little bit different than my cover for the paperback, just because I didn't go in and edit the cover here to say Andrew J. Griffin. But that's okay. Everything's fine as it's listed here, my proper name, Andrew J. Griffin. So we can actually go and view it on Amazon in all of these different territories, which is where it is available. And I think that we are going to go do that right now. We're going to check this out. So let's see what this looks like on the Amazon website. And here it is. All right, nice. Kindle edition by Andrew J. Griffin. Now I'm probably going to have to go and claim this book so that it ends up in my author profile page. But you can see here, it's offered for $0 at Kindle Unlimited, or you can buy it for $3.99 if you're not enrolled in Kindle Unlimited. Here's the main back cover copy, or as people like to call it, the blurb. As you can see, as this is a brand new book, there will be no reviews here because it is literally hours old. So, but here's the product details. The file size is 1.5 megabytes. So you can see it's a fairly long book at over 300 pages. And all the stuff here, text-to-speech is enabled, X-ray not enabled. I didn't do a lot of the rest of this stuff. But as this is offered nowhere else, there should never ever be a reason for a person to click on, tell them about a lower price. So there we are. There's the book, and here's most of the rest of my recently viewed stuff. So you guys don't really need to see that, but that's okay. All right, here we are, and now we have finished with the ebook. We're going to go on and finish the process for getting the print book in place. All right, so here we are setting up the paperback details. I did a little bit already, and I hope this isn't going to affect the final video output, but it looks like what I actually did is I recorded the wrong screen on my monitor, so I'm going to go back and we'll try and get the ebook stuff done. But a quick update is that if that doesn't happen, I redid my ebook file for Word document file and added in my introduction. I added in a thank you, and I added in some back material, including a thank you for reading the book, an encouragement to post reviews, a listing of more books that I'm working on, and a bonus section that includes the first 2 chapters of my next book, Amara's Law Hybrid Tech. Went through and we finished uploading the manuscript. We checked the cover. Then I went through and I set the price, which I had already researched, for $2.99, enrolled it in KDP Select as part of my marketing process for 1 term, which is limited to 90 days, and then finished that and went on to select the paperback setup, which is what we're doing right now. So here we can see the language. All this stuff is basically the same as what we had for the ebook. What we're going to do is when this came up before, this said Andrew J as my first name, it said middle, and then here Griffin as my last name. I took the J and the period and moved it into the middle section. There were no other contributors. This is the same description that I had for the ebook. I own the copyright. We'll use the same keywords. We already chose the categories for science fiction, hard science fiction, and action adventure. And then I did some research for looking at whether this was adult content or not. We're not going to list it as adult content. So we're going to save and continue. Now the part that I was doing before is on this page, we're going to get a free KDP ISBN for reasons that I have stated before, but a quick recap is that you should do your own research on whether or not you want to get a free ISBN or get your own ISBNs. They are a little bit expensive, and I do believe that Boker is not being completely upfront with the whole process with that, but you should do your own research on whether or not you want to go with getting ISBN numbers. So the trim size for my book is 6:9. Bleed settings, we're gonna do no bleed for now. Bleed is only supported by fixed format files like print-ready PDFs. Okay, well, hopefully that's not going to cause a problem. We're going to go with glossy. We already uploaded the manuscript here, which is the same manuscript that we were using for the ebook. It's already formatted in 6:9 with proper margins. We're going to launch our cover creator because I do have an image for that. So we'll go back to that. All right, here's the cover creator. We're going to continue. We're going to choose an image from my computer. We're going to do the 5¼ by 8, even though my book is going to be 6:9. We're going to open that up and see what happens here. All right, so it opened it up, and let's see. So there's a bunch of just junk on here, which I don't need, and we'll probably just delete that. Let's see how we want to do this. I think we're going to want to choose this one right here, which is just a plain background with text on it. We're going to choose this and remove all of the text because it's already included in my cover image. So we're going to choose this design. We're going to dismiss the tutorial. We're also going to delete all this because it's already included here. Alright. Click to set the style of the author bio. I'm actually not going to include the author bio on this, so we will just delete that. We're going to skip that, so we don't want to have an image there. This is going to be the text that we had for our back cover copy. So we're going to go ahead and open that in the Office program that I have here. This may flash up, so I do apologize for that. But we're going to go into the back cover copy survey. Oop, that one doesn't exist. Hee hee. Open. So we are going to go into my home directory, into my documents, writing, Amara's Law. We're going to we're going to pause here while I find this. Alright, so I found it. We have it here. We'll just copy this text, minimize this, and paste it here. Alright, that's an interesting font choice. Anyway, whatever. So we're also going to delete my name off the bottom because it is already included down here. Alright, so we'll do this as okay, so that fits there. We'll put the name here. You know what? We may have to go back and change that because I have a J in the thing, and there's no J on this here. So why is this back here? That should not be there. Oh, for Pete's sake, they're linked. Are you kidding me? That's just ridiculous. Alright, Alright, how do we do this? Well, this is a little confusing now, isn't it? Alright, we're going to go back and choose design here. Let's see if there's another way we can do this that does not... I wonder if it's this one here. Let's see if this works. Oh, that puts the whole thing on this side, so we don't want that one either. Alright, let's try this one again. Aha! Okay. So let's see if we can just pick one that does not have... Well, that would be kind of irritating if we can't just make these invisible. But it would appear that we cannot make them invisible. And that is mildly irritating. So delete. That means we have nothing on the spine here. Oh, and it asked me to sign in. So let's see. Nice long password there. Hopefully it's the correct one. As I've got... Okay, I don't understand what it's doing. This is all very strange. Alright, I'm going to work on this. I'll fix this without taking up your valuable time while we mess through this. And then we'll continue on. All right, so we're back, and I had to do a little bit of editing to my cover because the cover that I received from the person I was working with just included this portion over here, the spine and the back cover. I had thought that Amazon was going to be able to allow me to edit those in their cover editor, but apparently that is not the case. So if you want to have your cover done just the way that you want it, however you want it done, I would recommend that when you talk to your designer, that you make that absolutely clear to them that you're going to need a file that has both the spine on it and the back cover copy, leaving space for a barcode in the bottom corner here, and if you want, space up here for a picture of yourself if you so desire. But what I did is I took my original file, which was black from basically from the edge of this image, and I added the text for my name and the title of the book, and then I added the back cover copy that I wanted to have. I also did a little bit of editing. You can see here that the back cover has a little bit of design on it. What this is I stripped off all the extra stuff off of the front cover, the title, my name, the hand, and this active QR code, and I copied that, put it onto the back page, reduced the opacity, and did a little bit of jiggery pokery, flipping the images and getting it to align so that you can see here it aligns properly with the front of the book, so that the back of the book is directly in line with the front of the book. And then I exported that to a PDF file. This is typically an Adobe PDF file that you can upload into Amazon directly from here. If your back cover is like print ready, you could go ahead and just print it and it's all set. You can see here in the preview that it's got the little barcode in the bottom corner, but that everything here looks like it's formatted pretty well how I wanted it. So once that's done, it said down here, it looks like you've made some changes to your manuscript or book cover. Please approve these changes before continuing. So we're going to launch the previewer here. So many things. All right. So looks like this is not quite aligned the way that we want it to be aligned. So we're going to have to figure out what's going on with that. Okay, what did I just do here? So let's see, 2-page view, page range cover. So this is apparently not the right size for the back cover here. So I'm going to have to figure that out again. And that's the only thing that I'm going to change on this, and then we will continue on once the back cover has been properly edited. Okay, so here we are again. So before I had some issue because my manuscript was actually formatted in 6:9, but my book cover I had mistakenly had the designer format it in 5¼ by 8. So when I uploaded my cover file and I launched the previewer, I was getting severe mismatches with the size of my book cover and the size of my book. But as you'll see, if we launch the previewer now, I recreated and downloaded a template from Amazon just for my book, which includes the correct size for the spine. You can see here I was able to paste in the images from my original 5¼ by 8 to a 6:9 book, front and back. It gives the barcode down on the bottom with the ISBN number. Here's the title, the QR barcode, my name, the rotated title for the spine of the book, and the back cover copy, including the tagline. So this looks pretty good for the cover here. We're going to go through a couple of things here and see what happens. Looks like this is looking pretty good. Yep, it starts on the right page. Looks like this is going pretty well. Everything looks pretty good here. Yep, and chapter 2. Yep, so this looks pretty good. So we're going to go up probably down to page, let's go to page 270. see where we are here. Okay, so this is close to the end of the book. All right, so here's the last page at the end of the book. Now it's inserted a blank page, which is great. And then it gives my thanks and my back cover copy with my books here and the bonus material, which includes the first 2 chapters of book 2. So I am quite pleased that this came out the way that it has. This is quite nice. And over here, before where this said fix, it said error. So right now, Previewer automatically fixes some issues. Check that the fixes that you're happy with what it's done. Before I had an error here that was telling me that there was a mismatch between my book cover size and my manuscript uploaded size. So it actually knows what size the stuff is that you're uploading. So what I did was I just went into my image manipulation software. If you have Adobe Photoshop, okay, so yeah, we're going to change this to Andrew Griffin. If you have Adobe Photoshop, all I did was create several new layers and check to make sure that everything was working the way that it should and looked the same as the 5¼ by 8 image, and then I resave that as a cover copy. Let's see, I did use the template for that to prevent text. Okay, we checked all the text. It looks good. Let's see, to prevent text from getting cut off during manufacturing, make sure it's completely inside the guides. If the content in images is supposed to extend to the edge of the page, make sure there are no white gaps. Learn how to fix bleed issues. So if we went back to the first page, 1, enter, and then we went to here. So all this is inside here, and these spines are here. So we have a little bit of trouble with the red, with my name and the Amar's Law here. But I think that's, I think we're going to be okay. Let's see. Yeah, if we fast forward here, so these red lines are where it's cutting off for the interior of the book, and that gives us a little bit extra space on the exterior. So I think we're going to be okay because most of everything is inside this white line here, which is going to be the extreme edge. The only problem is that my name here kind of runs off the edge, and hopefully that's not going to be too much of a problem. It might be, but unfortunately I don't know that I have any way to fix this. I may fiddle around with this afterwards to see if that's something that I can do, but we're going to exit this. I probably should have clicked approve. But so the next step in the process is going to be paperback rights and pricing. So I'm gonna go back and see if I can't fix that name issue that's on the bottom here. Maybe move that in just a little bit to see if we can make sure that my name, which is, you know, kind of important, is actually on the cover image. All right, here's hoping that this is the last video that I have to take for this. Hopefully there'll be no more breaks. So okay, so what I've done is I have actually gone back and looked at, because it looked like there were several things that I was missing, little small niggling details. For example, my manuscript still had on its alternating pages the original title of the book. The cover didn't have the publishing name that I'm going to be using, so I changed a whole bunch of that stuff and redid the cover to match the interior format. So let's see what this looks like now after I've uploaded all the files. Hopefully this will go relatively quickly, and alright, so everything appears to now fit within the margins that we've got here. Hopefully the red is not, I followed their 6:9 format and got the N for my last name as close to the outer edge of their thing as possible. Fit all my names here and centered everything on the front and back. So this looks pretty good. and we'll click through here. Yep, see, I changed the title here because I'm calling the entire series now Amara's Law, and this is Blood Tech, the first one. And this was actually one of the major reasons that I went back and redid the cover, because the publishing name I'm going to be using is Andrew J. Griffin, to distinguish myself from several of the other Andrew Griffins that are publishing books on Amazon. But this looks pretty good. The format of the book has not changed very much. We'll go back to 270 here to check out the end of the book, which looks pretty good. And there it is. And here's the bonus, and everything looks like it came out just the way I wanted it to. All right, so those look good. It's again telling me that on page 276, which is this page, right? Nope, that's not right. Is that right? Oh, well, I guess it's their page. I've got different page numbers on the bottom here for the book. Maybe I'll go back and remove those. But anyhow, that's a little confusing as to why the page numbers are different on mine versus the thing. But anyway, on page 276, they said they removed some non-printable markups, which is actually, I had some, these were links in the original book, the website links here. So those look like they're going to be okay. It looks like I might have to go back and redo one more thing, because the page numbers for Amazon are not matching the page numbers that I have for my pages here. They should match up almost exactly. I may have to go back and offset. So we'll see what page 1 is doing here, just so I know where we got to go for page 1. Okay, so that's why, because I introduced the introduction and these ones before we started page 1. So my page 2 is their page 6. So it looks like I have to offset my pages by 4. No, you know what? No, because that is page 1. This stuff in the front is not, should not be listed as page numbers. So these numbers here are the correct page numbers that continue all the way to the end of the book at 270. I believe it was 275. Yeah. So 270 is the last page of the end of the book, and then we start on the rest of the bonus material, which has listing for different pages on the bottom there. So I believe that this is okay. I'm going to go ahead and approve it. Okay, so that's where we are there. Summary, learn more about cost of printing. My printing cost apparently is going to be $4.44. All right, we'll save and continue. All right, paperback printing rights. I'm actually, you know what? I am going to open. It looks like Amazon may have changed the text font, but we're going to open my Office Writer here just for a second to check out the file. Here it is for release, Amara's Law for release on Amazon. We can see here it is formatted at 6:9, so it's telling me, I'm guessing this is going to be up somewhere in a higher range than that, possibly because Amazon, it looks like Amazon has reformatted. Yeah, see, my page count here is going well over 300, so I'm kind of wondering what's missing here. It looks like they may have changed the font size to decrease the number of pages, but that's okay. So we'll let them do that. Let's see, select territories. So we're just going to go with all territories, worldwide rights, royalties, and pricing. I've done a little bit of research on this, and I've seen a lot of new authors put in, $15, $16 for their first book. I think that's a little high. I mean, I am a new author, and granted, this is a fairly large book at over 110,000 words, but you know what? I'm going to put in $13. Right, so here we go. I'm not going to do expanded distribution. The reason why I'm not going to do is I'm thinking of going with a different person to go for the expanded distribution marketplaces, and I really don't want to get in the way of that. So we'll just go with Amazon for this, and so that's what it looks like. All right, so it looks like here the $12.99 subtracting $4.44, $4.44 for the printing costs, and Amazon taking their cut leaves me with a royalty of $3.36. So not too bad. You know what? Just for fun, let us go in here and look at what that actual percentage is. $3.36 divided by $12.99 gives us 25.86%. Right, so if we multiply, this is just the ratio. So if we multiply that by 100%, that gives us 25.87%. Now that is not too shabby, considering standard royalty pricing for traditional publishing is somewhere in the neighborhood of 10%. So, proof copies. Absolutely want to request a proof copy of the book, which you can purchase through your Amazon cart. So we're going to click there to request a copy. Save and continue. Alright, here we go. There it is. I can order up to 5 copies at a time. How many do we think I'm going to go with here? Well, there's going to be one for me. And this is basically proof copies. These are going to be, they will have inside them, you know, proof copy, etc., etc., and so forth. So I'm just going to order one of those. Which is nice because you can order like 1 or 2 of these things and they're only going to cost you $4.44. They just do for the printing costs. So that's kind of nice. So we're going to submit for, you know what, I'm going to order 3, just for grins. Submit proof request. Within 4 hours of submitting your request, we'll set up a proof copy. You know what, you can pause it here if you want to read this. You know, so we're just going to confirm proof request. Confirm. Thank you. Alright, it looks like we're done here. We will go... oh, you know what? It's going to print us a proof copy, and then we'll come back and we can click publish the paperback book, and then that will be it. So I am not going to make one more video showing me clicking the publish my paperback book. I'm going to get the proofs, and then I'll come back, and as soon as I've approved it, I'm going to click publish the paperback book, and that will be it. So there you have it. There is a somewhat spotty rendition of a person doing this for the first time, and I hope all the mistakes that I've made here help you guys quite a bit when you're deciding to do yours. You can take the lessons that you've learned here, the things that I found were mistakes and problems that I had to go back and fix, and you can fix them before you go ahead and publish your book on Amazon. So that way yours won't take as long as doing mine. You can just upload your stuff, have it work, and then everything will be hunky-dory. Alright? Well, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. It would be nice to see that the effort that I'm doing here is appreciated. If you didn't, and you think this was long and rambling and terrible and horrible and whatever, you know, go ahead and give me a thumbs down. Either way, leave me a comment and let me know what you thought was good or bad. Well, I would normally say my book, Amara's Law, is coming out, but you know what? It's out, people. So let's go ahead and end the thing here. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have a good evening.